Some of you may have read or know of that phenomenally inspiring poet of the 13th century by the name of Jalal ad-Din Muhammad Rumi. Rumi was an Islamic mystic or Sufi and has been referred to as a transcendental philosopher. That is, one who views all religions and peoples and all of creation as ultimately and essentially inseparable, and one with the Creator itself. I don't recall when I first came across Rumi's work, but believe it must have been in the mid to late 1970s, given how broadly and intensely my integrated interest in philosophy, spirituality, and science grew at that time. Now, since it's easy enough to learn all you would ever want or need to know about Rumi's life and his unique and remarkable achievements by doing a quick internet search, I won't bother to go there, and instead move on to a recitation of a few of his poems that astounded and arrested me when I first read them. I had only read small parts of the Holy Quran by then and had no idea of the incredible wisdom that is embodied in the Sufi traditions, which, I must add, are crystallized in the euphoric and sometimes dazzling poetry of Rumi, and also of another great Persian mystic by the name of Hafiz, whose poetry I will likely share at another time. Here are some verses by Rumi that will surely challenge us to open our minds and hearts, to see the one as the same one in all, to look deeply inside so as to let go of non-essential attachments and desires, and surrender to that one who is our own spiritual self. Some can be intense, and you may want to listen again to those that leap out at you. And please remember that implicit across this work too is encouragement to be attentive and always use lighthearted, confident, and creative interpretation and common sense. Since I have benefited so very much from him, I won't change this image of Rumi. So I offer you three options. One, you can gaze upon his wise face with all that great gray hair. Two, you can bring your own good mirror to this party. Or three, as a third option, you can simply close your eyes and listen. Either way, I hope you have a comforting and lasting listening time. Not all of these poems have titles, but this first one is entitled, It's Rigged. It's rigged, everything in your favor, so there's nothing to worry about. Is there some position you want, some office, some acclaim, some award, some con, some lover? Maybe two, maybe three, maybe four, all at once. Maybe a relationship with God. I know there is a gold mine in you. When you find it, the wonderment of the earth's gifts you will lay aside as naturally as does a child a doll. But dear, how sweet you look to me, kissing the unreal. Comfort, fulfill yourself in any way possible. Do that until you ache, then come to me again. And here is a related one-liner with the same theme. The wound is the place where the light enters you. This next one refers to God as the friend and emphasizes the ultimate unity of our own spirit with the indivisible, all-pervading, almighty spirit we call God. I like this one a lot. A certain person came to the friend's door and knocked. "Who is there?" "It's me." The friend answered, "Go away. There's no place for raw meat at this table." The individual went wandering for a year. Nothing but the fire of separation can change hypocrisy and ego. The person returned, completely cooked, walked up and down in front of the friend's house, gently knocked. "Who is it?" "You." "Ah, please come in, myself. There's no place in this house for two." This straightforward, instructive verse is entitled "The Lawsuit." I am amazed at the seeker of purity, who, when it's time to be polished, complains of rough handling. Love is like a lawsuit. To suffer harsh treatment is the evidence. When you have no evidence, the lawsuit is lost. Don't grieve when the judge demands your evidence. Kiss the snake so that you may gain the treasure. That harshness isn't towards you, O son, but towards the harmful qualities within you. When someone beats a rug, the blows are not against the rug, but against the dust that's in it. And here's the very same theme in another one-liner. If you are irritated by every rub, how will you be polished? Our human bodies are like a house. Listen to what Rumi says about this in his poem entitled "The Guest House." This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house, empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Next, there is a candle in your heart, ready to be kindled. There is a void in your soul, ready to be filled. You feel it, don't you? You feel the separation from the beloved. Invite him to fill you up. Embrace the fire. Remind those who tell you otherwise that love comes to you of its own accord, and the yearning for it cannot be learned in any school. This next verse, entitled "Come, Come," offers inspiration to persist and carry on. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, it doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, even if you have broken your vow 1,000 times. Come, yet again. Come, come. Here's one about rising above transient and fleeting distinctions. Out beyond ideas of right doing and wrongdoing, there's a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about ideas, language, and even the phrase, each other, doesn't make any sense. The next two verses focus on that freedom which naturally comes from the experience of real love. They are followed by a single straight line directive to free ourselves. Do you know love? Love is abandoning me, we, and all assertions of being, dissolving all desires and beauty in the creator of beauty. Whoever finds love beneath hurt and grief disappears into emptiness with 1,000 new disguises. Your way begins on the other side of what appears as reality. Become the sky. Take an axe to the prison wall. Escape. Walk out like someone suddenly born into color. Do it now. This mystical assertion of spiritual liberation is entitled Only Breath. Not Christian or Jew or Muslim, not Hindu, Buddhist, Sufi, or Zen, not any religion or cultural system. I am not from the East or the West, not out of the ocean or up from the ground, not natural or ethereal, not composed of elements at all. I do not exist, am not an entity in this world or the next, did not descend from Adam and Eve or any origin story. My place is the placeless, a trace of the traceless, neither body or soul. I belong to the beloved, have seen the two worlds as one, and that one call to and know, first, last, outer, inner, only that breath-breathing human being. Here is an enriching poem about the power and promise of good music. It's entitled, It Acts Like Love. It acts like love, music. It reaches towards the face, touches it, and tries to let you know his promise that all will be okay. It acts like love, music, and tells the feet, you do not have to be so burdened. My body is covered with wounds this world made, but I still longed to kiss him, even when God said, could you also kiss the hand that caused each scar? For you will not find me until you do. It does that. Music helps us to forgive. This final verse for now is an uplifting and stimulating ode to God and nature. Its title, What a Blessing. Don't hide. The sight of your face is a blessing. Wherever you place your foot, there rests a blessing. Even your shadow passing over me like a swift bird is a blessing. The great spring has come. Your sweet air blowing through the city, the country, the gardens, and the desert is a blessing. He has come with love to our door. His knock is a blessing. We go from house to house asking of him. Any answer is a blessing. Caught in this body, we look for a sight of the soul. Remember what the prophet said, one sight is a blessing. The leaf of every tree brings a message from the unseen world. Look, every falling leaf is a blessing. All of nature swings in unison, singing without tongues, listening without ears. What a blessing. O soul, the four elements are your face: water, wind, fire, and earth. Each one is a blessing. Once the seed of faith takes root, it cannot be blown away, even by the strongest wind. Now that's a blessing. I bow to you, for the dust of your feet is the crown on my head. As I walk towards you, every step I take is a blessing. His form appeared before me just now as I was singing this poem. I swear, what a blessing, what a blessing. Every vision born of earth is fleeting. Every vision born of heaven is a blessing. For people, the sight of spring warms their hearts. For fish, the rhythm of the ocean is a blessing. That brilliant sun that shines in every heart, for the heavens, earth, and all creatures, what a blessing. The heart can't wait to speak of this ecstasy. The soul is kissing the earth, saying, "Oh God, what a blessing. Fill me with the wine of your silence. Let me soak my every pore, for the inner splendor it reveals is a blessing, is a blessing." Ah, such precious pearls of promise and insight Rumi has cast into our nets. Peace, blessings, and mellow, mellow feelings to all.